Third down and 20.
Are you panicking yet about any of the quarterbacks? Rookie quarterbacks. Have you seen any of these rookie quarterbacks that you're like?
So here's what makes it so complicated. And Frank, I recognize you and acknowledge you as someone who, you weren't as low on Josh Allen's rookie year as a lot of people were. You've talked about that a few times. You said like you kind of thought
Josh Allen was great his rookie year.
Yeah, and no, that's why I always give you credit for that, because there were a lot of people who were low on him after his rookie season. Am I wrong with that, JT? Would you say it's accurate? There were a lot of people that
yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah,
I was definitely one of them. Yeah.
So exactly. So, and that's where I'll give you credit, Frank. But there were a lot of people who were low on him, saying not accurate, too many picks, reckless player. Where it becomes complicated with some of these quarterbacks, and where like you really just need to watch and evaluate their situation. For every Josh Allen, there's a Josh Rosen. Like with some of these guys who don't really do well their rookie year, and you have to be kind of being able to judge if you think they'll be able to bounce back from it or not. So from these rookie quarterbacks, I don't know if I'm willing to go too far yet, because even if any of these guys have a terrible full season, you could still get a good offer for them after the rookie year. Like regardless of how good or bad they play, you're going to be able to get good offers for them. Because like I said, like Frank said, there's apologists for every rookie QB, because we've seen situations where they can turn it around their second season.
I'm one of them. I'll give an early first for Zach Wilson still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so there are probably people who are out there starting to worry about Zach Wilson. Personally, I just think he's too talented. So for me to like worry with like he can make throws that not many NFL QBs can make. I'm at this point in time, I'm not ready to put the panic meter on any of them.
Oh, really? It sounded like you were about to panic on one of them.
Here's the one thing with Zach Wilson that is annoying is that it's tough to try and discern if he's just like playing like shit and just if he's just bad or if it's, because now, he went from an offense where he's taking shotgun snaps. His footwork isn't tied to the routes at all. He's kind of he's able to take the snap, scan the field, and then just start doing whatever the hell he wants once the play breaks down. And he's running easy air raid-esque concepts. Now he goes to an offense where the timing of the routes really matters. His footwork really matters. He's doing a lot of play action where, he's turning his back to the defense for a second, half a second, has to turn around and then instantly know where to go with the football. And you can, once you start taking that into perspective, it's kind of easy to understand, oh, well, yeah, that's kind of annoying compared to what he's doing at college. Maybe that's why his accuracy sucks. It's like you have to turn your back for a second and kind of just know, oh, my guy's going to be 2 yards from the hash. Instantly go to turn around and throw. There's a guy in your face, and like there's so many things going on. So I'm not willing to sell any of that. I will say, though, Trey Lance looks really good.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I mean, there were some people that were saying that he like struggled and what. Dude, I think that Trey Lance has improved the most for me.
I was about to say the people who were saying, I feel like it's a lot of box score watchers that's like occasionally maybe checking in on the game. Because the one thing that stood out when I looked at the stats post game, and I watched pretty much that entire Cardinals 49ers game, he played a lot better than what his stats indicated for that game, in my opinion. The stats didn't look like super impressive or anything besides obviously the rushing upside for fantasy, but I thought he was better than how his stats look. So I'm with you on Trey.
To me, like I've kind of gotten invested in Trey Lance since I traded for him. But yeah. I just think like I was watching him. There were definitely really, really good plays, right? Like where he's finding Deebo Samuel in these tight little windows. Same thing with Brandon Ayuk. But there are also plays where I was like, all right, you tucked it down and ran a little too quickly. Oh, you waited too long on your first read that you should have hit. Like you hesitated too much, and then you go and look at a different bad option, and that doesn't work. Or you're just too jittery and you throw it too high and you overthrow your receiver. There's definitely that, and especially when he rolled out, he wouldn't make that snap decision right away. And then I think they had like 10 holds that game. It was a ridiculous number of holds. And some of it was the offensive line bad play. But part of it was also Trey Lance just not making that snap decision. So, but to me, that's a rookie. Like you're a rookie quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Those are common mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like we're not in the room, so it's hard to tell sometimes, even when watching the All-22, exactly what – because you can have – the funny thing about football is that all the plays are the same, but the way that they're coached could be wildly different, especially depending on what system you're in. Because, like, you could have an air raid type of scheme where you're running a Mills concept, like a dig and a post, and then you have some sort of little underneath route where you're supposed to look underneath to intermediate, then to deep. And then in some other concepts, you're supposed to look deep to intermediate to underneath, right? And something as minute as that can completely wildly change how a quarterback plays and whatnot. The thing for me with Trey Lance, though, the dude's athletic as fuck. Like,
yeah,
holy crap. This dude's an athlete. Like, he's an athlete. He's not just, because you could say, oh, we're all athletes. Justin Fields is fast. Oh, Zach Wilson. No. Trey Lance is really athletic to the point where if I'm a defensive coordinator, I am scared that this guy's going to beat us with his legs.
You have to account
and that's
for that.
The same thing that I hate the Josh Allen comparison because I really don't think it's a great comparison, but it is in this regard in that Josh Allen was the same way coming into the league. As a passer, he's super underdeveloped, but the dude was able to make plays with his legs. And it's not like he relies on it necessarily, but that's a huge element to his game that look at Mahomes. Yeah, Mahomes is making great throws left, right, and center. How many times a game does this dude run for 14-yard first downs, it seems like? You know how fucking annoying that is for a defense?
Or just all those touchdowns passes he's able to make because he's able to escape the pocket.
Yeah,
and just
it's just like infuriating because like there's no, we're going to keep him in the pocket because like, okay, he'll beat us with his arm. Oh, well, we can't rush him because then he just jukes a guy out and still makes throws. It's like, that's what I feel like I'm getting out of Trey Lance now.
Yeah, I just think you gotta remember with Kyle Pitts, who's 20, like just turned 21. Trey Lance is also just like newly 21. Like these are young guys that have a lot of time to develop. And where I'll go with that is like with a little more of developmental, like knowing the game and experience, because again, he played in FCS and whatnot, and now we're in the NFL, and better play calling from Shanahan. Because I mean, it was his first game, so but
I was about to say
like
that's. Sorry, Coach.
There was questionable play calls. Yeah, go ahead, Lounis.
Yeah, I was going to say the play calling didn't really help. I thought they should have ran the ball more. I agree with you guys. Too, that's a tough first start. That is a tough first start.
Yeah.
At Arizona, divisional rival, and your O-line's not playing great. You know the Cardinals have a good pass rush. That's tough. Like to ask a rookie to do in their very first start. And I thought, considering the circumstances, he was pretty good.
I know we just derailed us. I know I derailed.
Oh yeah, we just fucked the whole episode up. But
I thought that was good though.
We're gonna have to speed run
real
some
quick.
Shit.
Yeah, real quick. Rank your quarterbacks from least panicked to most panicked. I'll start. I guess I think least panicked. This is tough, but I think I'm still going to say Trevor Lawrence. Then I'm going to say Trey Lance 2, Justin Fields 3. Mac Jones 4, Zach Wilson 5. Zach Wilson's who I'm most panicked on.
I'm gonna go least panicked Trey Lance, second least Trevor Lawrence. I'm not panicked at all about either of them. Third Fields, Mac Jones or Wilson is tough. I'll actually go Zach Wilson then Mac Jones.
I'm gonna go
Mac Jones most panicked.
Yeah.
Least panicked. Lawrence 1, Mac Jones 2, Trey Lance 3, Zach Wilson 4, Justin Fields 5. But I'm not really panicked on any of them outside of Justin Fields. But that's because I didn't really want Justin Fields to begin with. So like that's kind of preconceived notions more so than panic.
All right, fair. So kind of seems like Zach Wilson's leading our camp as most panicked, but
I still want to buy Zach Wilson. I still really like him as a player.
I know. You asked us before the pod if you could get a trade done trying to get Zach Wilson. Frank is still in on Zach Wilson. All right, I derailed us. I don't have him. But
so let's panic. Let's panic on the panic meter and start speed running it.
Okay.
All right, TJ Hockenson, kind of panicked. Well, at the price he's at, I'm kind of panicked. I think
tight end 4.
I mean, he's still got to be tight end 4 or 5. Yeah, I'd rather other players than Hockenson.
Superflex league.
Let's see.
Ask who would you rather have?
Tight end 4 he is.
Hockenson, DJ Moore.
Ryan
Tannehill. Choose between those.
Is the Superflex tight end premium?
Yeah.
I'm still taking DJ Moore, I think, but that's tough.
I'm going more Hockenson Tannehill.
Same. I have the same rankings. I'm not panicked on him. I guess like maybe you could say Mark Andrews was better than him. I mean, it's the ultimate reactionary thing. Mark Andrews decided the game of his season, and Hawkinson had a bad game. So,
this is gonna be really one of those times. This is gonna be one of those times where it's like I have this player, so maybe like take this with a grain of salt. But like if I could trade Hockenson for Noah Fant plus, like I'd do that. I'd do that pretty easily.
Okay, that's fair. It depends on what the plus would be. Do you want to move to now the Raiders? Well, we kind of talked about the Raiders offense earlier.
Yeah, I'm not panicked at all. The only thing is, if I had Derek Carr, the only person I'm panicked about long term is Derek Carr. Derek Carr is long term. Yeah. The thing I'll say though is like I was never high on Kenyon Drake to begin with. Really, like Josh Jacobs, I don't really care that much about. So to me, it's Carr, Waller, Ruggs, Edwards. They're rated where they're rated. I don't think they're going to go. Only one I'm like actively trying to shop would be Derek Carr, just because I don't know what his future holds.
I agree.
I'm turning my crystal ball and I am seeing struggles in the Raiders' future
for this season.
Hot take. That offense was good, dude. That offense was really good, and it's just tough to see that happen again. I'm not panicking enough to, I think, sell lower on anyone because I think that's going to be like, oh, if you try to sell Josh Jacobs, the person that you're trying to sell him to is going to be like, oh, well, without Gruden, like he's worthless. And I'm just going to be okay. I'll just keep.
Actually, I think Jacobs is a buy, but that's a separate topic.
The one thing I'll say with Jacobs, I wonder if they use him more in the passing game now.
It'll be interesting. It's going to be someone else calling plays, so we'll see.
I don't really imagine it. I don't know. I think if he was really good in the passing game, they would have already used him a lot more. I just think he is what he is. Although, who's to say? Because I think Jonathan Taylor has been better in the passing game, and they don't really use him a whole lot. So, I don't know. Coaching staffs are weird. All right. The Seahawks, wide receivers. Mostly Tyler Lockett, I guess.
Yeah, because I feel like we had a consensus where DK is just so good where he's going to be able to produce. It's just more like, will Geno Smith be able to support two good fantasy wide receivers?
I'll say on my stardom sit-em, I have Tyler Lockett as a sit this week. I mean,
I'd be pretty concerned about him.
I'm not concerned. I feel like they're going to torch the Steelers, man. Like, you're just going to be like...
You're just, we stink. We're poor old Steelers. Poor us. We're going to get blown out.
Dude, this is just what happens prime time against a backup quarterback. We're going to play down to the Seahawks.
I believe that they're going to play down to the Seahawks, but I don't think it's going to be your defense's fault.
Yeah, I think it's more going to be
you think the Seahawks defense is going to show up?
No, listen.
That's what we're betting on here. We're betting on the Seahawks defense to start covering.
Do you think Big Ben? Do you think Big Ben shows up?
I
audibly him slinging the pill last week.
I audibly gasped when he threw that touchdown to Deontay Johnson. I was like, "How the fuck?" Like it's like I haven't seen that in a season.
He did it last game too.
I had the same reaction then. It's a rare occurrence.
No hating. Big Ben's back. We out here.
I don't know how we ended up on the Steelers on the Seahawks thing, but
punched over.
To Lockett, you kind of, I don't know. Lockett, I just don't think is going to. So many of his points come from those long Russell Wilson touchdowns where he takes the top off of defense. Like,
yeah,
it's going to be Smith bust. Doing the same thing. Yeah, I don't know. All right, moving on. Last one on the panic meter. Odell, someone I really liked at the beginning of this offseason. I mean, I still like him, but it doesn't feel great when your team goes off for like 40-something points.
42 points.
You get 2 targets
for 20 yards.
You get first thing has to be said fantasy points. Is that Odell's still drawing coverage from the opposing team.
He is.
So it's not like teams don't respect Odell. I think the thing that pisses me off the most is that clearly the chemistry with him and Baker just isn't there.
Dude, I saw so many times, not so much this week, but in that Minnesota game the week before, Odell opened down the field and throwing behind him, it's frustrating.
Which is funny too, because the first couple of drives back, Odell and Baker, like they had that really nice first down conversion where Odell was really covered and Baker threw him open and shit.
You know what changed though? I don't know how much of an effect it has because it wasn't his dominant hand and whatnot, but he has like a dislocated shoulder or torn. I don't know what
it's on the
his shoulder's messed up.
Yeah,
but like I don't know how much that is towards like guiding you and like if it affects your accuracy at all or whatnot. Like even just a slight change will cause things to be off.
I will say, if you look at the stat sheet, if you look at analytics, if you look at just all these factors, the history and whatnot, everything points to Odell's going to be fine. He's a buy low, all that.
I agree.
But then when you watch the games, you're like, I don't want to buy this guy. Like it's weird, man.
I just wish he'd get traded. I don't even think it makes sense for the Browns' sake to trade him because obviously you're trying to compete. You want those weapons for Baker. But I just wish I could see him on another team because I don't think it's him. I mean,
dude, if he was on the Chiefs, that'd be nasty, and they need an Odell.
There or like Green Bay. Like, I don't think it's him. I still think he's an extremely talented receiver.
I think I'm gonna keep my initial thoughts on Odell. I'm gonna hold firm. I'm gonna be patient, like we were preaching earlier. Where I still think he's more of a buy than a sell. I'd still look to ask what the price is for Odell because I'm not the biggest Odell guy in the world, but at the end of the day, you could probably pick him up for seconds still.
Yeah.
If you're a contending team, I do think that he could be a nice little buy low scenario. I'm just not as gung ho as I would have been before, but still way more of a buy than a sell for me.